Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a very strange week for Call of Duty, and basically what we have got is a bunch of leaks for Season 1 Reloaded, and then a bunch of leaks for Season 2. Now, if you don't know why that's weird, essentially Season 2 is not coming out until February 1st, so we are quite literally months away from the launch of that. Yet, we have had a bunch of leaks over the past 24 hours come out in regards to what is coming in that update, and what we can expect to see not only in Warzone 2, but also Modern Warfare 2 as well. So, what I thought I would do is bring back a series that we had on this channel for a long time called This Week in Call of Duty, where we kind of wrap up all of the news that has happened into one video so you guys can know exactly what's going on. So essentially in this video, we're going to start out with everything that is going on with Season 1 Reloaded and what we can expect to see there, and then dive into the Season 2 leaks, which are strange, very strange to say the least. So starting out with Season 1 Reloaded, this is the roadmap that we have here, and there's a lot on this roadmap that's yet to be fulfilled by Infinity Ward and Activision in regards to Season 1. And essentially that's what we can expect to see with the rest of Season 1 Reloaded, which if we follow what they have told us, that should be coming out on December the 14th. And there's a lot here that needs to be good for the longevity of Call of Duty. But real quickly before we dive into the Season 2 stuff, I just wanted to look at what we have and what we can expect to see on December the 14th, if they follow that timeline. So starting out, the one for multiplayer that a lot of people are looking forward to is Shipment. Shipment is making a return, however, this time it appears to be on a boat. Now, the one thing that I don't want is I don't want the shipping containers to move around like they do in the campaign mission, but we'll, I guess, find out. It does look smaller, and there doesn't appear to be two stories like we saw in Modern Warfare 2019, but needless to say, Shipment's coming back, it's going to be chaotic, and I think everyone's looking forward to it, to getting some weapon camos unlocked. The second thing is a new weapon. This will, of course, be available within Warzone and multiplayer, but this one is the Chimera AR. It has a built-in suppressor and is probably the most similar to the Honey Badger from Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, they say this is going to be available in a store bundle and via challenge. Now, we don't know whether that challenge is going to be directly with DMZ like we saw with the M13, or whether it'll be a multiplayer or both to unlock this, but we do know it is coming at Season 1 Reloaded, and we can expect to see that December the 14th. Then we have two more operators. The first one we have is Kyle Garrick, aka Gaz. He should be coming right at the beginning of Season 1 Reloaded, and we kind of know what his story is all about. And then we have Klaus. He is currently redacted. We don't know what he looks like, but he will be coming probably 2 weeks after the launch of Season 1 Reloaded, or maybe right in the new year, because we will have a month after that until the next season actually happens. Then we have the big thing, the most interesting thing, and that is the raid. So they state that this is going to continue the story of the campaign, where it kind of left off with the introduction of Makarov. Now, we don't know to what extent that will actually happen. We don't know if we are going to get new cutscenes or what exactly is going to happen, but they have described the raid as a multi-hour long puzzle narrative, stealth and combat driven experience where you play as a team. I have no idea what this is. We haven't seen any gameplay, but we know it is coming at Season 1 Reloaded, which should just be in about a week's time. So I'm interested to hear more about this, and when we do, of course, I will keep you filled in and dive into that story once it actually happens. But essentially, that's all we can expect to see on the 14th, which is quite a bit of content. So then we dive into the Season 2 content. Now, keep in mind, based off of the current timeline, this is not going to be coming out until February the 1st, which is a very long time and a very long season for Call of Duty. So will it get pushed up? Potentially, but also potentially not. Now, essentially, we have three different things that have been leaked for Season 2 already, and they're pretty big things. The first of which is the resurgence mode in BR. So this slowly became one of the biggest things within Warzone, with the Rebirth map followed up by Fortune's Keep, but recently they've changed Warzone 1 to simply Warzone Caldera, and they got rid of those maps. So currently in that game, there is no resurgence mode, which a lot of people really liked. Now, this leak came from one of the weirdest things that I've ever seen, a Call of Duty group chat on Facebook. Someone just put up a map that is apparently a new resurgence map within Warzone 2.0. This quickly spread throughout the internet, and then Call of Duty, Activision started taking it down, which kind of means that this is actually real. Now, of course, I can't show it to you because the video will get copyrighted, but essentially what this is an island with water surrounding it. It's kind of a mix between Fortune's Keep and Rebirth Island. There's a lot more water, docks, things along those lines, and it's a smaller size map, a much smaller size map than we see with the current Al Mazrah map. Now, This map is said to support 50 players and be a resurgence type mode, but it's also said to be a ground war map with 24v24 on it, as well as support a new area for DMZ. So once again, kind of keeping that vibe and what they have done with the Al Mazrah map, but on a smaller resurgence style map. It's very interesting, a very strange way for something to leak for Call of Duty, but hey, it appears as though that should be coming within Season 2, or if not then, shortly thereafter. So then the other two pieces of information regarding Season 2 really confused me. Apparently some key art for Season 2, kind of like the main screens that they show, have leaked. And the character that is going to be the main character for Season 2 appears to be Ronin, a character returning from Modern Warfare 2019. Now, what's weird about this to me is in Modern Warfare 2019, they released a lot of characters, especially early on, that directly related to the overall story of Modern Warfare and pushing the narrative forward for Warzone as well. This doesn't appear to be doing that. They're just kind of bringing a character back that, in my opinion, isn't really a character who is that loved by the community, which is very strange to me, and I don't think a very good decision. Speaking of that, the other bit of information is a map that will be coming to multiplayer, specifically for 6v6, which is Castle. Now, this is super weird because, one, it was in Vanguard, and two, it's originally from Call of Duty World at War, which are from Treyarch games, which is very strange because generally speaking, maps don't cross over from one studio to another. In fact, it's very rare that that has ever happened, aside for in Sledgehammer's games. Also, when you consider the fact that it is a pretty big map, and really Modern Warfare 2 only has 6v6 or ground war map styles, it doesn't really seem to fit in with the game style of Modern Warfare 2 whatsoever without combat pacing. In my opinion, both of these things, Ronin and Castle, are not things that are going to bring players back to the game, which makes me question whether this is actually real or not. But apparently, the leak itself came from actual in-game images of promotional material for Season 2, so it kind of has to be. It's just a very odd decision for the people at Infinity Ward, and I'm curious to see what actually comes of this. Not to mention that to push the narrative forward like they are doing with the raid that we talked about, they kind of need to bring back some characters from the campaign and push their narrative forward to kind of drive the story of Al Mazrah, of Warzone, and of the Spec Ops and the raids and things along those lines. So I'm guessing when we see Gaz come back at Season 1 Reloaded, they will kind of push his narrative forward a little bit more, and then in Season 2 Reloaded, that's kind of when they'll bring back more and more characters. It's also important to note that as of right now, none of the operators within multiplayer or Warzone are currently really evil characters like they did in previous games, especially Black Ops Cold War. Almost all of the characters that they added after the fact were bad guys. So they seem to be going the opposite way, putting protagonists into the game instead of antagonists. But essentially, at this point, I want to hear what you guys have to say about this one. I think the Season 2 leaks, aside from the Resurgence map, sound very odd. I think we definitely need a Resurgence map, so that was kind of expected, but the rest of it just seems very strange to me. So let me know down in the comments what you guys are thinking of Season 1 Reloaded and the Season 2 content as well. I'm curious if you're looking forward to it, think it's weird like I do, or what your thoughts are altogether. Also, if you enjoyed the video, found it informative, always appreciate it if you hit that like button. If you want to stay up to date on all my videos, subscribe, turn notifications on, all of that jazz. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out. We are